Well, hello, internet friends near and far. Welcome to another episode of Podcast 99. This is case 006. And this is part of our journey through the television projects of Michael Schur and company. And my name is Jason, and I'm joined by my friend Jeremy. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
It is going so well. It is a beautiful Friday as we're recording this. And I'm positive it's like 32 degrees outside.
Yeah,
Because it's springtime in Seattle, but that it's just a lie. The sun is out and you're like,
it's a temperature lie.
I'm gonna wear shorts today, and then you immediately regret it.
hmm
So
until 4 o'clock when
mhm.
it's like 68 degrees and you're burning up.
68 degrees for like a half hour.
Just enough to make you sweat.
And then the sun's like, sorry guys, my bad. I'm
Let
gonna
me hide
start
behind
working
these
my way
clouds.
over there behind those mountains.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
Have,
hard here.
have some light misting of rain.
Yeah, for real. Every day I've looked at my weather app and it has said not rainy. But every time I take my dog out, she's right here for a stroll. Uh, it is raining. It's like, what is happening? There's like rain just showing up over my neighborhood, and I'm not
It's like
happy
that,
about
that
it.
that cartoon cloud that just follows you around.
Yeah,
Why does it always rain on me?
exactly.
hmm
But that's my life. Jeremy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I just realized we talk about the weather a lot, which I feel like isn't that the last step in small talk when you run out of things to say? That's where we start just to get it out of the way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I just want people to
cool.
know that as if we're here and they're not into that, then they're not going to like the rest. So
Start low.
yeah.
It can only hopefully go up. No, I'm good. This is one of the best. This is one of the best episodes of the first season, I think, and really sets the stage for all of the other Halloween episodes to come.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think this clocked in at a robust 8.4 on the
8.4.
IMDb's, and yeah, I agree. This is a great one. But for again, for the first season of a show, I feel like Schur really had he really kind of honed it in with his first, Parks and Rec and The Office and stuff. And he's like, this is where we're started. And he had such a powerhouse cast, he was able to pull it off. They weren't really, like we said, like, except for Rosa, most of the characters are just. I mean, Charles was great in this. Holt was being Holt. Jake always 100 miles an hour. And even the little side bit with Rosa and Terry was pretty funny with her. Yeah, it was great. And Halloween, I love Halloween. It's probably my favorite. It is my favorite holiday. So,
Really?
yeah,
Huh. For the
yeah.
candy? Because you're
I
not
mean,
really a dress up in costume kind of person.
but that's the thing. That's what I love about it is because it is a time to watch everybody else dress up in costumes and see.
All right.
No, just like it's a self-expression kind of situation. Like how do you identify as a superhero or a pun of some kind, a costume pun? I just love it. It's great. I went as Nickelback that one year because my kids made me dress up and I taped a nickel on my back. We were just talking about Nickelback. Yeah, I know. Just as bad as the band. And I didn't feel bad about that. It fit. It went. It was
Just a
on.
regular size nickel.
Yeah, with a piece of tape. And everybody, and I didn't even want to do it. It wasn't like I went around going, hey, check it out. Nope. And my kids did that.
What's your
Guess what my
costume?
dad is?
You'll guess when I'm leaving.
Yay.
Oh, so I have to endure this
Yeah.
until you leave
I should have just been playing Nickelback on a stereo too, but
and just hold a photograph.
yeah.
You had
Yeah.
long hair at one point. Was that during that era where you could have
Yeah, but
been
that was more
chatting it
like
up?
that was more like Bush, like more Gavin,
Gavin
style.
Rosdale.
Gavin Rosdale.
Rosdale.
Um,
Yeah, Rosdale.
what have you dressed up?
I do dress up sometimes.
hmm
It's not
hmm
really something that I am wanting to do. So I just don't really care that much. So
Oh,
Halloween is really just a uh, candy. Uh, it's basically like I'm in the mob and my kids are the neighborhood shops and all of their candy. It's like, hey, it's a really nice bedroom you've got here. It'd be a real shame if something happened to it. You better
yeah.
kick up some of that candy to me and I'll protect your
The
whole
rest of the
establishment.
horde. Yeah.
And so it's really just a way for me to be the Tony Soprano of my house as far as candy goes.
You're just extorting candy from your kids,
All the time. All the time.
as was
And
written in the Constitution. Yeah,
exactly. And my kids, they don't really remember that they have candy.
exactly.
So it's, I mean, they don't, I don't know what it is. Like I get so many friends who with kids, and maybe you have the same experience where it's like they have so many rules around their kids' lives,
Hmm.
like screen time, food, candy, snacks, all kinds of stuff.
Right,
And like my wife and I, we've never really had like strict rules around those things, mainly because our kids just don't care.
right.
Like they turn the TV off when they're done with it.
Hmm.
And like in the
Oh, that's
middle of a
nice.
show, they'll just be like, nah, I'm done. And like, really? And so, which is annoying for me because like I was watching that. But yeah, so they just walk away from TV. They don't really care about candy. Uh,
Yeah, but you also have one of your kids. I won't name names. At one point in their lives, said, "I don't really like cake."
no, that wasn't my kid. That was my nephew. You sure? Because my nephew Noah doesn't like cake.
Oh,
So, but
no,
you're
it
probably
was.
talking about Judah then.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah,
a
one time.
picky kid.
Yeah.
So, he's better now. He likes cake now,
Oh, that's good.
and he eats a lot more varieties of food. So the other day I was home on a phone call working from home, and I heard my front door slam. I was home by myself, but I thought I was going to be a dead person. This is me, future corpse, on the phone. Slam door, and I freaked out. I got up and I saw my son running back to the school. He came home and he's running. He's holding a Ziploc bag with pizza in it. It's like he came home
Had a
to
kid.
get some pizza. I was like, text me at least, but like, let me know. You shouldn't be doing that because it's a closed campus, but just let me know so I don't like diarrhea myself.
Making a pizza run, Dad.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Maybe
Anyway,
he's selling it.
well, it is Costco pizza. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the good stuff right there.
My daughter says at the middle school, there's kids who show up with like backpacks full of Arizona iced teas and they sell them. They sell them at school.
Selling
And
some of those tall boys.
and Prime,
Oh, gross.
which I've never had one of those
I haven't
because
either. They just
I'm
look
an
so gross.
I'm an old, so I just
Yeah,
like coffee.
you're not a Jake or Logan Paul. You can't drink this stuff.
I'm not a Paul. So anyway, yeah,
Anyway, so this episode's about Halloween.
yeah.
And yeah, there's three main stories that we follow, or we can just walk through as we go because they kind of overlap a little bit. Ooh, what do you want to do, Jeremy?
I said let's just go through it. I thought this one flowed really well.
All right. So so it starts in the briefing room because that's the best place to start as everybody is getting set up, and Amy's complaining about how Halloween's terrible because everyone's drunk, wearing a mask, and everyone thinks they have to dress sexy. And at one point she says, "I passed by a slutty tree," uh, and she says, "Who wants to have sex with a tree?" To which Scully and Jake both respond, "Was it a maple?"
Was it a maple?
Which I don't. There's just like
In
you
the
dig
writers,
a little bit into that question, and
yeah.
it's like, what is going on there? I love that.
But then like go even further, like outside the character and in the writers' room when they wrote that line. Do you think somebody said, "What do you think the sexiest tree is?" And people just started throwing,
And like everybody across the board, maple.
maple. What about dogwood? No, maple. You're wrong.
Yeah. I mean, some people are really into those birches,
Wow.
but yeah.
I got 99 problems, but a birch ain't
ain't
one.
one. I don't have any birches on my property, son.
Not anymore. They're all houses now.
I used to have 9. I did.
We're so white. We're so white.
I had 9 birches, but they got they got some kind of birch disease and had to cut them down. So yeah, I got 9 birches. Sorry.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make
Charles comes in dressed in a costume and which he calls Stoom. And he's speaking Italian, and he's like, "Who are you?" And Jake's like, "All right, you're Dumpy Chuck Norris."
Mm-hmm.
And Rosa then guesses Dumpy Ron Weasley because it's a red wig, and he's like, "No, I'm Mario Batali, and the celebrity chef, Ginger Prince of Italy. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it. But a perp walks by and says, "Hey, sweet Batali costume, dude," which is not who you really want to be
No,
calling you. Like, you got it figured out. And so, yeah,
because yeah, he's going to jail. He goes, and Charles is like, "Yeah, thank you, a man with impeccable taste." And Jake goes, "Yeah, is he? He bit a guy's butt off at a WNBA game." Eric Stoltz with a mask from
from
Mask.
Mask.
From Mask.
It took me a while to figure out, like, what is that? Because I was thinking like Mask the cartoon, and then I remembered
Right.
the movie
MASK. Right.
with Cher and
Hmm.
a kid who had like a
Elephant Man syndrome.
yeah, and so
Wait, is that?
I
Can you
think
say
it's what
that?
it is. I think it's what it's called. I don't know what the like. I think that's the shorthand for it. It's an actual
Hmm.
disease with a name other than Elephant Man syndrome,
Right.
but
Because
um,
girls can get it too.
person of elephant syndrome. Um, but yeah, that was a deep, deep cut in pop culture referencing, and I appreciated it. So yeah, so they're doing the briefing, and um so Sergeant Jefford says it's going to be a really busy night, and Jake's like, the holding cell is completely full. I keep having to separate Hillary Clinton from Kim Jong-un. Cuts back to those two making out in the holding cell, which is odd. But then Holt gives a wants to send some cops to go to the warehouse party. So he sends Boyle, since he's already in costume, and as a Joy Behar from The View.
No.
And then also Santiago, who hates Halloween. And so Charles is going to be like, "Hey, I'm going to make you have a super fun Halloween. You're going to love it." And Amy says, "Can you make everyone kind, sober, and fully dressed?" And Jake responds, kind, sober, and fully dressed. We found the name of Santiago's sex tape. So that gets that joke going throughout the episode here. So then credits. Da 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 da.
In the series, that's the first time.
Yeah, first time this joke happens. So
That's what she said.
hmm,
Well, I'm
that's
saying
a
that's the.
different that's a
No, I
different
know.
show.
Right, but that's this show's version of that. I feel
Yeah.
is all I'm trying to say.
Yes. Indeed. Indeed. So Jake comes in arresting a banana and a guy dressed in a banana, and cuts to him at the crime scene as he's robbing a bank, and he's stuck in a revolving door, and so he starts using all kinds of banana puns. And he's like, "You're trying to split, huh? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get out on appeal." And he's like dying, and he's trying to get all the cops to be on board with him, and yeah. So then the guy like tries to take the money out, and it blows up. He's an blue ink all over himself. And um, so the Jake though says, "Yeah, I think I would be a great criminal. I'm smarter than all of them." And Charles like, "They'll call you the handsome bandit," which is so weird. Excuse me. And so Holt is like, "I'm fairly certain you would be caught." No, scratch that. "I'm 100% certain you would be caught," which sets up a challenge that Jake is like, "All right, I'll steal something from your office, and by the end of the day, and you will have to do my paperwork for tonight. If I lose, I will do the next 5 weekends, no overtime, and I won't tell anybody about the time I saw you wearing short shorts outside of work." So, which is a great way of telling people about the time you saw people.
Right.
So, yeah. So, Holt takes it. And but Jake's like, "If I win, you have to do all my paperwork tonight, and you have to publicly state that I'm an amazing detective slash genius." And so they enter into this arrangement. And so now it sets up the heist.
Yes.
The Halloween heist.
I love heist plots, movies, shows,
Yeah.
all of the heist. Pacitus was
Yeah,
kind
that's
of a heist. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, he
so
went in to like mess up the office and leave a
yeah,
peach pit. So it's kind of a reverse heist in that he was leaving something behind,
right.
but it's still, sneakery. The other day, my kids and we went to Barnes and Noble, and
You
we're sitting
left
at
the
the
books
table.
there.
I left all the books there. We're sitting. Actually, I bought two, but we were sitting at the table, And my first response, as they were sitting there eating their cookies, I said, "All right, let's plan a heist." So and they just
I
looked at
brought
me
you
like, "No."
I brought you to this public place to plan our genius heist.
Yeah, but you know how many like movies it seems like the heist planners are doing this at restaurants. Like I feel like they like have
Yeah,
these
or
conversations or like Reservoir Dogs. Like there's like the scene where they're like talking beforehand and they're in a restaurant and like
right.
yeah, anyway.
Or somebody has a warehouse
Right. And I don't
that you
have a
can
warehouse.
right. Barnes and Noble, that's the close. I mean, and now that the warehouse is gone, the CD place, you can't even do it
Oh
there.
man. Yeah. I was very confused when Warehouse and Dave Matthews Band's fan club Warehouse were happening at the same time. I was like, how did Dave Matthews Band buy all of the warehouses? Like, that's amazing. These guys are like moguls in the music business. They were not, but that's Taylor Swift's job. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not wrong. I mean, she's.
You got some Dave Matthews on your brain.
I'm getting a new
It's
record
almost like you
today.
have an album that's coming. Which album are you getting?
Some Devil, his solo album, which I
Nice.
love. It's
Excellent.
so good. He recorded it. He recorded some of the songs at Bastille University, which is over there from where I'm sitting.
Right through that wall that you're pointing to.
Like probably a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
I always know where I am in relationship to Kirkland, my hometown, and it's just right over there.
to Kirkland, my hometown.
Yeah. Last night I was in Kirkland and I was like, here.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
you're just a compass that's spinning round and round because you're right where you're supposed to be. Anyway.
Yeah. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure now. I'm thinking about it. Like it is like straight that way. So not important to anybody listening to this, but for the 12 people who may watch this eventually on YouTube, hi. So Rosa comes in with a nun in costume, and the nun's name is Sister Steve. So he got mugged, and some guy dressed as a royal baby punched him and took his wallet, and she's laughing at him.
Royal baby.
Yeah, remember when the royal baby was born?
No. Oh, yes, the actual royal baby.
Yeah, it's William and Kate's baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big deal. People were like, look at this baby.
I guess. I've seen babies before.
He's so babyish.
So small.
And like now he's bigger.
That's how they work.
That's how humans happen.
John Ross Bowie
is the actor.
Yeah, that is the nun. He was in a show. I don't know if you ever saw Speechless. I thought it was a kind of a fun show. So anyway,
I do like that actor. He's been in so many things.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. So anyway,
thank you for looking that up.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So yes, Sister Steve is kind of upset that Rosa keeps laughing, and Rosa's like, I can't tell you how many nuns I wanted to beat up in school, in Catholic school. 10. Like I can't tell you 10. And Terry's like, I didn't know you went there to Catholic school, and Rosa's like, good, you shouldn't know it. And so Terry's like, I'm gonna figure it out, and because I know you're really a big softie, and Sister Steve, no, I think she's really mean. And so yeah, so Terry's mission is to figure out like why Rosa got kicked out of Catholic school.
But I love Terry's trash talk. Is you probably read a Maya Angelou poem at graduation and cried. Like that's insulting to Rosa. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
It's not that far off because Rosa does have a soft side that we're going to learn about in the series. But it is one of those things that she tries to hide. Like deep below her mean exterior. And so Terry's like, I'm going to find out. And Rose's like, no, you won't. And he's like, I'm a detective. I will detect. And so, yeah, so Jake is trying to figure out how to get a lead on stealing Holt's Medal of Valor. And so he goes to talk to Gina, and he's like, what's the schedule today? And Gina says, I'm not going to help you. I'm his assistant. I take that job incredibly seriously. Jake looks down, is like, you're literally making paper airplanes out of police reports right now. So,
how else is she supposed to get him into that bin over there?
So, so she says, fine, captain's in a meeting in 10 minutes. And Jake's like, perfect. Kisses Gina's forehead. And he's like, what does your skin taste like? And it's Dinah Lohan. I'm wearing her face lotion, which is
Is that
Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan's
Lohan's
mom.
mom? Was she a
So
thing?
I think the whole Lohan like environment was a thing. Like all
Mhm.
the like her dad and mom were characters, pop culture characters at some point. So
Okay. All right. Yeah.
yeah. So Charles and Amy are over at the DeKalb Street warehouse, the one on DeKalb Street,
Hmm.
and or they're heading over to it, I should say. And Charles is pointing out all the fun stuff. Really, there's a huge amount of drug activity, and
All the fun stuff.
yeah, he's so excited about like as he's talking about like Halloween, but he's also like, there's a huge amount of drug activity.
Hmm.
And so Amy's in this skeleton costume. Is like, why is this so stiff?
Bone
Uh,
person.
what's that smell? And Charles points out that the department never washes them, so it's probably puke because it's apprehended from the evidence room essentially. And so that's gross. And then Amy's like, look, Raggedy Ann over there is drinking vodka right out of the bottle. And so she's like, people think just because they put our costume, they could do anything. And Halloween is Christmas for jerks. uh, so so then Raggedy Ann is like, oh, she says, like, stop. You can't drink out of open containers. And Raggedy Ann says, oh, why should I listen to you, bone person? uh, and yeah, Amy, it's called a skeleton. It's a very common word.
Actually.
Yeah, and she holds up the cop, her badge, and like, oh, these guys are cops. These are
Boo.
cops, and everybody starts booing. So cut back to the precinct, and Holt sees that Jake is in his office. Is like, what do you do? Or in the ceiling, he hears him up there, and he's like, "Are you in my ceiling?" He's like, "No." So what are you just waiting for me to leave, and then you will blow yourself down and win? It's like, who are you talking to? No one's up here. So Holt leaves, but he takes the metal off the wall and puts it into a safe that in a combination that is only known to him, and so making the heist even more difficult.
And I love
And
that. I love that Holt sandwich is in the safe as well.
yeah, because who's gonna want to steal his sandwich?
Hitchcock and Scully.
Exactly, but his sandwich is probably like just the bread and like
That's it.
protein paste, not even peanut butter. Like
This is chickpea paste.
just
Oh,
yeah.
hummus, bread and hummus.
So yeah, so Jake falls through the ceiling, and it's a whole thing. So a little bit later, Jake walks in with another perp, and he sees that Amy and Charles are coming in, and he's like, "What happened to you guys? I thought you were supposed to be at the warehouse party." And he was like, "We got egged. Some of the shell got in my contacts, my hair, my mouth, and my bra." And Jake's like, "I can't tell if that's hot or not. It's not." So then Charles is like so excited about everything, and he's like, "We're having such a great time, right, Amy?" And Amy's like, "I just wish I was dead." How's the unwinnable bet going? And he's like, well, I fell through the ceiling and onto a pencil, but other than that, also badly bruised my brain.
So great. It's going great.
Yeah, things are going perfectly. And so Rosa is like, I can't believe you should have made a bet you could win. Like, who wears more denim jackets? Which is again one of those is like, why don't we have more of that information? Like, who wears more denim jackets? That was one time. And he's like, I can't believe you aren't supporting me in this. You're always telling me I'm the best. And then it's a series of flashbacks with Charles telling Jake he's the best. And no one else, just Charles. And Terry's like, look, Jake, I love you like one of my daughters, but
Really?
it's not about you or how smart you are. It's Captain Holt. He's a genius. He's had your number at every turn. And so Jake's like, well, not this day. Turn time. I'm pretty sure I had a concussion. He falls forward onto Terry. So cut to what is that room called? The lineup, right?
Yeah.
Would that just be called a lineup room? Would they have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So they
That's
have all
lineup room.
these suspected royal babies.
Like they're suspected of being babies.
Well, they're suspected of being muggers, but they're dressed as royal babies.
Right. Right.
And so Sister Steve is trying to find the one that mugged him, and says, like, maybe the third guy The baby who mugged me was pretty short, and Rosa laughs at that. He's like, "You're not supposed to laugh at me." And so there, Rosa's like, "Number three, can you step forward and say, 'Give me your money, you stupid bag of crap'?"
Oh,
He comes out, he says it.
poor Sister Steve.
No, wrong giant baby. Then Terry is there, and he's still trying to figure out like why she got kicked out of Catholic schools. Like, were you doing drugs?
Mm-mm.
Were you selling drugs?
Mm-mm.
How bad could it been? Could it have been? Did you burn
Worse.
down a church? And then he's like, she says, number three, step forward and say the word worse.
Worse.
So it's like, ooh, what did she do? It's worse than burning down a church. So then we cut back to the precinct, and Holt is like, I can't find Peralta anywhere. You're the only one who can decipher his handwriting. And so he's holding a piece of a document. Says it says he arrested that bunny, but I don't know what for. He's either a crispy mother werewolf or cowboy mustard Oslo, Norway. Gina looks at it and says, Bunny gropes multiple women on the subway, being able to read Jake. Like, that's the reason. It's like being able to read Jake's handwriting is a gift, a useless gift. And while this is all happening, Holt realizes that there is a mysterious person in his office, a man dressed as a janitor. And he's like, excuse me 1 second. Nice costume, Peralta. And Peralta's like, no, just a normal janitor pushing trash around. And so Jake is caught, and he's like, you really think this is going to work? He's like, no, this Gambit was designed to fail. Just like in chess, sometimes in order to win, you have to sacrifice your king.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's exactly how you lose chess. And he's like, no, I learned it from my Uncle Bob. And it turns out Uncle Bob taught him to just shoot the chess pieces.
Yeah, while he's drinking Coors Light.
Yeah, now you're a chess master. And then he also taught me to shoot backgammon too. Do you know how to play backgammon?
I used to. That's the one with the long triangles.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
I've never learned. It's one of those boards. Yeah, it does have long triangles with like the little tiles or circles. It looked hard.
Yeah, my great grandma taught me backgammon because I think she invented it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because it's an old game. She was really old too. Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of like what's the one with the different trays and the pit
Mancala?
Mancala. It's a little bit like that.
Okay. I don't know.
But I think dice are involved somehow.
Cool.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Jake doesn't know how to play either. And so Holt's like, I expected better of you. You could at least create a diversion to distract me from your terrible costume. And he's like, well, I did have that. But it's a little timing issue. And then the garbage can catches on fire. It's like, Captain, you better head over there for like 15 minutes to see what's going on with that. Beware of the backdraft. I'll be in your office. And Holt is not. He's nonplussed through it all. And so, so that didn't work. Or did it? TBD. TBD.
It's my favorite charity.
Yeah. So back at the DeKalb Street warehouse, they've cleaned up a little bit. And Charles like, come on, Amy, loosen up. You look like such a cop. And like, you got to blend in. And Amy's like, I will never love Halloween. And Charles starts backing up his dance onto her. And he's like, and then like, oh, there's a guy stealing a thing and or selling drugs. And so they go and they try to chase him, and he drops the drugs, and Amy has to crawl on the floor to get the bag of drugs. She gets it, and a mysterious substance is poured upon her. And she's like, what is that? How is it hot and cold? Which is gross. So gross. This is one of the reasons why I don't like Halloween. There's just a lot of grossness. There's a lot of people being drunk and
don't crawl around on the floor. Step one.
How else am I supposed to celebrate?
Oh, find drugs.
Okay, I'll do that.
No, I'm just saying. How else are you supposed to find drugs? But other than crawling around on the floor? No, dude, it's not like if you go down to Edmonds or walk around like with your kids, you get to see everyone in their costumes, right? And everyone. Now, yeah, if you go to a warehouse party, probably not the best environment for that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. You make the Halloween you want. That's all I'm saying. Manifest your best Halloween.
I don't know. Did you celebrate Halloween growing up?
Yes.
We did not. I think that's part of it. Like my household, we were very much the non-Halloween party people.
Yeah, but didn't you guys do like harvest parties?
We went a couple times, and it was lamer than doing nothing. So
What do you mean? What do you mean throwing the hook over the sheet and getting a piece of candy
a Tootsie
because
Roll,
a Tootsie
not
Roll?
even a good Tootsie
Because
Roll, like a
somehow you
vanilla
hooked.
Tootsie Roll. And they're not called Tootsie Rolls either. They're called midges. They're the little ones. They're called midges.
Do they have like a kangaroo on them or something?
No, they're
Like,
from the Tootsie people.
oh,
They
the Tootsie people. Big
not the
Tootsie.
people like the
Big,
tribe,
oh,
but
I
the
thought you meant like the movie with
Hotel Rwanda.
no Tootsie
With Dustin Hoffman.
with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Dustin Hoffman was in Hotel
he was in
Rwanda. Didn't you know that?
Hotel One. Yeah, my bad. Don Cheadle
Dustin Hoffman. It
and
was
Dustin Hoffman. It
not
was
as funny as I thought it was
a
going to be.
hilarious buddy comedy. Wow.
So, yeah. So,
The
yeah, the
cakewalk.
Tootsie Roll people.
Cakewalk.
What a dumb cakewalk is essentially church gambling.
Yeah, and you get Aunt Midge's like soggy pineapple upside down cake
Yeah,
that she
it's
didn't
just
wait to frost when it was still warm, and it's just all it was bad. It's all bad.
it was all bad. So yeah, we stayed home with the lights off. Turn all the lights off. Don't let anybody know we're here. They won't come. And then one year, somebody did come to ring the doorbell, and we didn't have any candy for them. My dad gave them cough drops. So this is Halloween in my house. So
Wow,
it was not good.
that's okay.
Anyway, so back at the precinct, or as the document I found on the internet says, present. The there are many spelling errors in this thing.
Oh yeah.
Holt is on the phone trying to talk to somebody about fixing the ceiling, and he notices feathers flying in through the vent. And he was like, "Hold on, just a minute." He goes into the room next door, which is I think is the break room, and he's like, "Jake, what are you doing?" He's like, "Hi, I'm just photocopying some stuff." As he's up on a shelf holding some pigeons, and he's like, "You're trying to jam pigeons into my air conditioning to flush me out of my office?" And Jake's like, "Way to ruin the surprise." So it's like, "How did you get those birds?" Like, "By using my big brain." And he's outside with a loaf of bread, like a baguette and a bag. Like, "Get in the bag,
Eat the bread. Eat the bread.
and so that is how he got him. And so Jake's like, "It's all part of an elaborate plan to defeat you." And so he's like, "Well, you and your big fat brain are losing badly." So, "Well, maybe if you look at our bet, but how many people are holding birds? I'm winning 4-0." And cut back to Holt. He's like, "You're only holding 2." And cut back to Jake, and he just has a handful of feathers and 2 birds. So he lost 2 somehow. And then Charles and Amy are coming back to the precinct, and
Depression. Yeah.
yeah, and so Charles like, "Hey, when we're logging in the drugs, you missed some awesome stuff." The guy walked in full astronaut costume, gave me a high five, and Amy in the bone person suit, a deep voice says, "He high-fived me too." And it's like, "Wait, Hitchcock?" He's like, "Oh, darn, I wasn't supposed to talk about it." But I got so excited about that astronaut.
As you do. Yeah. It makes sense.
And so he says, "Amy paid me $50 to trade places with her for the rest of the night." And so Charles is a little upset. And Hitchcock's like, "Yeah, I'm going to use that money to buy 2 suits." $25 suits. That's a good deal.
Even at the Men's Warehouse, it's not that good of a deal.
Yeah. If you didn't buy your suits at the street corner, you paid too much. Do you remember those? Like the Shoe Pavilion commercials?
Oh yeah.
Man, I think about that probably 3 times a week.
That is 3 times too many.
Whenever I put on my shoes,
They got you. They got you.
it's like, if you didn't buy your shoes at the Shoe Pavilion, you paid too much. And it's his accent. Like, it's so like nothing. And then it's just too much is the where the accent shows up. It's like, what's happening here? Who are you?
He was Dracula all along.
And then also Pro Golf Discount, that guy. Do you remember? He would just like, it's a lot of daytime TV. My third parent, that like he would be on during A-Team and Hawaii Five-O reruns. This is when I saw all these commercials: Men's Warehouse,
Magnum PI, yeah,
Shoe Pavilion, and Pro Golf Discount. And it was a guy like dressed in golf clothes at the golf store, talking about how all the golf stuff is on sale. And I was like, I didn't play golf or anything, and like he looked like a photocopy of Steve Gutenberg. So. Right?
I was more of a 100%. I was more of a radio guy, so I was inundated with the Um, Now you have a friend in the diamond business, the Shane
Oh yeah,
Company.
Tom Shane.
Tom
Tom
Shane.
Shane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say Tom Zales. Like that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
Tom Shane of the
No,
Shane Company.
the Shane and the Zales, they had there was some
Yeah.
bad blood there.
You're going to love your diamond ring. I guarantee it. Yeah, man. The Shane Company. So Jake is um yeah, he's doing things again. I'm just where am I? He comes up to Gina and he's like, I'm so tired of losing to Holt. I want that medal. And Gina's like, it's not real gold. I tried selling it, 0 bids.
Mm.
But then she's like, I'm going to give you some advice that I gave the girls in my dance troupe. Dance till you drop. And then the advice was dance, dance, dance.
It's pretty good.
Which was very weird. Jake's like, I'm not sure how that applies, but thank you. It does not apply. It means don't give up. And if you would have won, we would have won if Natasha's water hadn't broken.
Natasha, every time.
And then I was like, oh, Natasha had her baby. Oh, you know Natasha? Yeah. And they both say at the same time, her dog has
Her
lupus.
dog had lupus.
So small world. And so Jake's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go cry. And Gina's like, I feel bad for him. And then Holt is like, don't. He brought this on himself. You can hang up now. Been on the phone the whole time, listening to Gina and Jake's conversation. He's brilliant. So Charles confronts Amy. It's like, you paid money to get out of working with me. And she's like, I had to. Tonight's been awful. Halloween's the worst. I don't understand why you like it. He's like, no, all the things that are bad about Halloween are what make it great. The big kids egg you, that you and your friends run away together. Friendships are forged in the crucible of Halloween adversity. That's all I wanted for us.
Bond.
He takes off his Batali wig. He's like, keep the wig. I don't need it anymore. Like in a real like cop trope of like, take my badge and gun. I don't need this anymore. I'm out of here. I'm going to be a vigilante.
Lone wolf.
Yeah, whatever.
Loose cannon.
Loose cannon. And,
Nick Cannon.
Instead of a gun and badge, it's a nasty old wig. And so Jake is like, calls out to Captain Holt, can you come in here for a second? And Holt comes out, you need something? It's like, yeah, I do. Hit it. And all the royal babies do this flash mob thing where they're like taking keys and throwing keys and he's creating this big diversion for to confuse Holt. And Holt sees right through it, and he goes to the break room where Jake is pressing Holt's keys into a wax thing so that he can make a copy. And Holt's like, just give me my keys. And he's like, stop catching me. Do you have any idea how much money I spent on key rings? And Holt's like, $23. Like, that's so close. It was 22, 76. So Jake's frustrated, and Holt's like, look, Jake says, it's been a little humiliating. Things are not going well. So I'm just going to throw it out here. What do you say we call off the bet and pretend this whole thing never happened? And she's like, no, I'm not letting you off the hook. And Jake is like, come on, you could save face. And so, yeah, anyway, it's not happening. So then Terry comes up to Rose's desk. He's like, so I called your school and got a hold of Sister Bernadette. And he's like, oh yeah, she was my favorite. Well, she said you were a model student and transferred of your own volition. And he's like, fine, I left because I got into the American Ballet Academy. I was a classical dancer and I was good. And so Terry's like, I knew you were a big softie. Like, if you tell anyone, I will break your face. And she closed the door with a foot, and Terry's like, no, you won't. You're too sensitive. So I love Terry. He's so great. So then Amy is talking to Holt, and she's like, our officer just arrested Peralta. He's like, what? He's like, they caught him scaling the building with a blowtorch. So why? So Holt goes into the interrogation room where Jake is handcuffed, and he's like, Captain, welcome. Would you like to shake the hand of the man who defeated you? And he like lifts up his hands, but they're in that bar thing, so like pulls it back down. Like, I forgot I was wearing handcuffs. And Holt's like, climbing the side of the building. What were you thinking? It's like, I was thinking I had a better core strength. I got winded about 10 feet up. It's like, I knew you wouldn't win. Your performance tonight made me question not only how good a detective you are, but quite frankly, how smart you are.
Oh,
it's like, you that's not surprising. You constantly underestimate me. He's like, no, I correctly estimated you. And so he's like, you got a deadline here, and here you are handcuffed in a locked room. And Jake's like, which is precisely where I planned on being. Let me tell you a little story. Remember when I fell through your ceiling? Yeah, that was 6 hours ago. It was like, that was a disastrous failure, but it gave me an idea for Herman, the friendly janitor you met. And he's like, I caught you as Herman, but you didn't catch Rosa. And this is the best part of the heist episodes, I think,
Yeah.
is when the plan is revealed.
Right.
I love it so much because
Right.
it's all these flashbacks and so you didn't catch Rosa. It cuts flashback to Rosa while Jake is getting called out for being Herman. Rosa is picking locks in Holt's office, and she's really good at it. And
Not
Holt's
surprising.
like, "All right, okay." And it's like, "No, me neither. Of course, I had to find a way to get her out of your office without you seeing her, which is why the trash can was set on fire." And then Holt's like, "What about the pigeons? Oh, the gray pigeons?" And he's like, "Those were a red herring."
I love that.
Hey,
I love that line. The gray pigeons, they were a red herring.
yeah. Their only purpose was to draw you out into the copy room while two of my team members broke into your locked office. So now I had a way into your office and an open cabinet. All that was left was the royal babies to steal your keys. And Amy and Terry, while he's telling that, they broke into Holt's office and was like, but you didn't need my keys. The cabinet was already unlocked. You needed a way into the safe. And Jake's like, I got it. Flashback again. He's like, you were so concerned with getting your keys back, you didn't even notice that Sergeant stole your phone. That's right. Even the sergeant is on my side. And then had
What?
Charles dust your screen for prints. The greasiest smudges revealed the four numbers you used the most. And the four numbers in your passcode, based on your advanced age, I assume are the same passcode for everything: your phone, your email, and of course your safe. And Holt, as he's saying all that, is like, ooh, he's got that. So at that point, I bumped into a girl dressed as a sexy robot, and we got our flirt on hard. And it cuts to the scene as they're going up the stairs, and I was like, "What is that? How's that a part of the plan?" Oh, it wasn't. It's just ruled. And he's like, so that brings me to 5 minutes ago when Amy came into the office and told you that I had been arrested. And I knew that only one you would believe. She's the only one you believe. Frankly, she's usually too lame to take part in these kinds of things. And so as you walked over here, Charles awkwardly stuffed himself through your window and opened the safe. We had the four numbers of your code, which meant there were only 24 possible combinations for Charles to try to take the things, take up to 4 minutes, which is why I really dragged out this explanation. I really stretched it out. I don't know if you noticed, but there were times where I was like, what am I even talking about? And then the timer goes off. It's like, all right, 4 minutes is up, which means Boyle is either on the other side of that door or I've lost. Holt opens the door and there's Charles with the Medal of Valor. It's so great. It all came together with 20 seconds to spare. And he's like, game over, Captain. Check me. And I think you mean checkmate. You really need to learn how to play chess. So it's like, how did you get everybody to work on this? And he's like, well, I appealed to their sense of teamwork and camaraderie. And he gets up giving a speech in a terrible Scottish accent. And I was like, and that works? Like, no, not at all. Instead, I bribed them. I told them that if we pulled this off, I would do their paperwork. And since you're doing all my paperwork, dun, dun, dun. So so Holt did it with the power of teamwork, which is a lesson he learned last week. He's applying it into his life.
Holt created his own monster.
Exactly. So this is all Holt's fault.
The monkey paw curled.
Yes. And so then we cut to Terry calling Boyle into the briefing room, and Charles walks in and everybody's all dressed up and he's like, what is all this? And Amy's like, I think Halloween is for jerks, but I was the jerk this time. I'm sorry about tonight. And Jake says, I'm sorry about tonight. We found the title for Santiago's follow-up sex tape. And so Charles was like, I'm sorry. I couldn't convince you to love Halloween. And again, Amy says, it's not your fault. I was terrible. It's not your fault. I was terrible. It's another one of Santiago's, and Amy smacks him. So then they're friends again. And Amy's like, anyway, we're all going to the bar, so get changed because you can't be the only one there not wearing a stoom. And Charles is so stoked because stoom caught on, which it did not.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Mean Girls, right? I've never seen that.
You just follow all the pop culture references.
Yeah. I just hear people say, I looked it up. Like, what is that from? Like on Wednesdays, we wear pink. Like, why? I Googled, why do people wear pink on Wednesdays? Because of Mean Girls. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I know the point of this movie now. So, but I'm sure I don't. So then later at the bar, Jake's like, Captain Holt, it's nice to see you. Never thought I'd say that. And so Jake's like, what you go? Would you go all the way to the words are hard.
So close. You're getting just 2 paragraphs.
But he's basically saying like you have to make an announcement here, and the floor is yours. And so he says, "All right, everyone, Peralta is an amazing detective / genius. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some paperwork to do." And everybody claps, and it's a party. So
Right.
then Rosa said that an officer in the 92nd caught the royal baby mugger. He had 19 wallets in his diaper. And then a caveman starts running through the precinct, and Rosa drops him hard. And Terry is impressed. And then Rosa's like, I didn't tell you, I got kicked out of ballet school for beating the crap out of ballerinas. And then Hitchcock and Scully are over in the corner. It's a good thing we gave him a heads up. Team effort, go 9-9. And Scully is dressed as Rambo.
Yeah.
That's his costume, which I appreciated because he does not look like Rambo.
And Rosa is Bride of Frankenstein, but doesn't have bolts. She has shotgun shells on her neck, which I thought was pretty great.
Yeah.
And then Captain Holt with his eye patch.
Yeah, he really went for it. So
he's evil Holt.
Mirror Universe Holt.
Goatee. Yeah. Yep.
So that's that episode. Halloween Heist, the first of several. And in the last season, it won't be on Halloween, but it will still be a heist. I'm pretty sure it's the last season. Anyway, there will be a heist. We'll get there when we get there. So
there will be heist.
Anything else that stands out from this episode, Schmidt?
Oh my goodness. I was just going to look up some of the trivia, but I keep fun fact, I keep clicking the wrong thing. No, the safe number was 3109.
Perfect.
And the thing about lupus, the dog has lupus. Canis lupus is the scientific term for wolves, which are the same genus Canis as dogs. So maybe that was a thing. It's like a dog with lupus is a lupus. Maybe that's the joke. Maybe. Subtle. Lupus. Anyway. Yeah, no, that's it. I just, again, love a good heist. I like the, when the royal babies were taking the keys and doing that whole like thing. It was like very Thomas Crown Affair-esque. And so just a little homage there to other heist movies and things like that. So yeah, and then it's impressive how detailed the heist is. And they have like 22 minutes to pull the whole thing together. And yeah, it's great. I love these just to see how they do it. So
yeah, it's a good episode. It's super fun.
What are the good, off the top of your head? I'm not prepared. Other heist movies, real quick, that you like?
Heist.
I
love Heist.
The movie Heist.
It's called Heist.
It's it stole your heart.
Edward Norton, Marlon Brando, Delroy Lindo. It was not a big successful movie, but I really enjoyed it. I love Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
probably one of the best. The pacing and the music, like that movie is never boring.
Right.
Like everything about it, like it's just there's something, and I love like little consistencies. Like, pretty much every time it cuts to Brad Pitt's character, he's eating something, which is just like a dumb little detail, but I just love it. So, Rusty. Yeah, Rusty, and yeah, I love that one is great. I'm not crazy about the other two, but that one is great. What other heist movies are good?
Did you ever see Now You See Me?
I have not seen it.
With Jesse Eisenberg and that
one's Spacey. Is it in that one?
Pre all the stuff. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Powder is a good heist movie.
What? Where did it even come from? What are you talking about? That was Yeah.
It's
Speaking
not.
of Kevin Spacey, K-Pax was excellent.
K-Pax was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, he eats a banana because he's an alien, or was he? Or
Yeah,
is he? No, he was. I don't know.
that's a fun movie. What other heist movies? What do you think?
Yeah.
What are your go-tos?
No, you kind of stole the Ocean's 11, but that's kind of the classic one. Mentioned Thomas Crown Affair. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Italian Job
Yeah, that's a good one too.
is
Both of
really
them.
good. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't thought about it in a while, but I just love that genre. Heists and murder mysteries.
Yeah.
A good murder mystery. But when you can't kill someone, a heist will do,
Mm-hmm.
is my
Mm-hmm.
motto. So
It's a good motto.
yeah.
Words to live by. So when you
Yeah,
can't
let
kill
it
somebody, a heist will do.
yeah, let
Dun, dun,
it
dun, dun.
yeah, let us know if what your favorite heist movies are,
Yeah. Even if
listener.
it's something like an episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm sure there's one of those heists in those episodes.
My
Uh,
Little Pony Heist.
I mean, Phineas and Ferb, like almost every episode of Phineas and Ferb is
That's
some kind of
true.
heist.
hmm
So yeah. And that's just one of the best shows. Best shows. Man, there's 104 days of summer vacation
hmm
and school comes around just to end it.
Yeah.
So the annual problem of our generation is figuring out how best to spend it. Like maybe. Anyway, I'll stop. I love that show. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Listener, email us podcasts, email us parks and conversation at gmail.com and or leave comments on the Speedy Signs review page. And we will find those eventually. So
I just really want to get sponsored by Speedy Signs so bad now.
yeah, well, you know what? Go for it. Make some
Okay.
calls.
48 hours is next.
The TV
48
show.
hours. The episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the movie.
The
Jake
movie.
stupidly arrests a male suspect despite having no evidence and only has 48 hours to prove he did it or release him without charge.
Yes. Classic Jake Blunder.
Yeah, Peter Lauer directed this one or that one.
Oh, I love Peter Lauer.
Yeah. Yeah, he does news so well. Dean Holland directed The Heist.
I don't know who that is. The
Dean
director of
Holland
the heist.
of this
What else
movie,
has he done?
of the movie of the Halloween.
Yeah, I understand.
Dean Holland, he did a whole bunch of like Office and
Okay,
Parks, and he was a producer on Parks and Rec
great.
and The Good Place. He's in the universe. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
a second or third in command. We got to figure out the rankings of everybody involved, but we'll get
That's
there.
what I do with my friends too.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Oh,
So yeah, cool. Well,
sounds about
Jeremy,
right.
we should probably let these people go.
Okay. They
Like
can leave
Moses,
they can leave anytime.
don't tell them that.
Oh, it's not rude.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
mean,
your
if there's
kids, like, I'm done with this. I'm
yeah,
done.
exactly like my kids, and that's our really whole relationship. I'm done with this, Dad. Bye.
Run off with pizza.
So many times. Anyway,
Yeah.
so listener, thank you. Viewer, you're welcome. We'll see you later.